Alright, I'm gonna make a video guide on how to do Kain's Culvert rotation, since I feel like my written explanation has a lot of things that uh, I kinda just know, but I'm like not explaining properly in the text. So first things first, have all of your toggles on bar, because when you go to node swap, you sometimes will not turn on specific toggles and you need to watch for that. And when I say node swapping, I mean swapping between your Fatal Strike into Lethal. You only keep Fatal Strike on until around 65 to 67, and then you'll want to stop attacking during that time to equip your Lethal Strike. Another thing is the macro I use to turn off my toggles. You'll see here. So I have Guided Arrow and Dragon Fang here, because those are the toggles you need to turn off to node swap. And then you'll see that I have GPQ buffs, like a buff sequence for it. And that's because you don't want your AB or ring activation in it. I take off ring activation because some people do a roar only run, and that's perfectly fine. But make sure you don't have AB in a sequence so that you don't pop AB when we're pre-buffing in the room. Other than that, before you go in, well, I need to go in to show you. Make sure you unequip your main hat and have a -2 at the very least, because the -2 is going to give you so much more time to get in this burst rotation at the very beginning. So you're going to want to proc your Fatal. You press your GPQ burst sequence, and then you re-equip your hat. And at 17 is when I usually like to go in. Something you can do at the very beginning, though, is you can pop AB and hope that you get a reset on it. So right there, I just got a reset. And then you'll want to Strike Arrow until stage 4. Stage 4, you Unseen Sniper. Stage 5, you put down Grip and you possess Unseen Sniper. And then stage 6 is where you want to pop your 1-minute skills. As you can see, my Thanatos ran out. I kind of went in early, but that is perfectly fine. That's going to happen a lot when you're running this rotation. There's going to be a lot of mess ups and you'll just end up rerunning. And I actually missed the timing because I didn't have a cont on. Hold on. Right. So make sure your cont is equipped. That is actually really big in phasing the early stages. So again, you hit once, Fatal, and then you sequence. I didn't have my hat off. Hold on. Might have to cut that out. One sec. Okay. Go in, proc Fatal, sequence, and then put on your real hat. At 17, go in. Fams out. So I didn't get a skip on my AB there. You can rerun if you want to there, but I usually don't. And then start holding your Dragon's Breath before stage 6. Fatal. And make sure you get the Possess Unseen Sniper off before you Thanatos. And then I can start ascenting here now that my cont is off. I'm starting to run low on time, so I'm going to start dropping more ascents. And then now I bind, turn off my toggles, and this is where I node swap. Turn toggles back on, And then you Will and Saren here. And continue the rotation as normally. At 30 or 44, you'll want to ring swap to Roar. And then 35, you Ori. Sequence is coming up soon. I actually missed lethal there with my Fatal Blitz. That's fine. And then at 10 or 11 is usually when I release TD2. And yeah, that is a dry run of Kain rotation. I will put a more detailed description in on exactly what I'm doing, but I'm gonna run through it really slow this time and not hit my phase timings. Just to really tell you guys what I'm doing and like what I'm thinking about. So FAM's out, CD hat on. Sequence, make sure it's the non-AB. Stat hat back on. You can stack solids here. I usually don't because you'll get like one stack. 17 on Vicious, go in. And then try and get a AB skip if you can. I didn't skip again. That's fine. So stage 4 here, I'm gonna use a normal unseen sniper. Well, my guided arrow kill it. But here, you want to drop your... sorry, I messed that up. You want to drop your grip, and then you'll possess and falling dust and poison needle all the way through. Hopefully you'll have poison needle stack still, or from grandis. And then right when stage 6 is spawning in, you're going to dragon burst into a fatal blitz. And right as you fatal blitz, you should be able to TD2 at the very end of it. Though I don't have the timing here, which is perfectly fine. And then I'm watching my cont to know when to use execute skills. But when my cont turns off, I'll ascent. Ascent. And then I watch for around 65, 66. I'll bind. I'll Jenny. And I press my Dragon Fang and Guided Arrow so that I can swap into Lethal Strike, which, you know, I already have it on. And then as I come back, I'll pop the toggles again. Will, Saren, continue the rotation as normal. 44, you're supposed to swap to Roar. I was a little bit late. And then 35, you'll Origin. You'll usually want to expend all of your Falling Dust before your Origin. But afterwards, you can immediately pop Sequence and just start hitting the boss until you see the Lethal Strike pop, and that's when you Dragon Burst into Fatal Blitz. 12 seconds, I just pop TD2. Make sure you AB in the middle of your TD2. And then you just proceed to pop the rest of your stacks. And yeah. That's all there is to it. Let me know if you have any questions. You can DM me on Discord. I'll put my Discord in the description as well. You can ping me in the Kain Discord. But yeah, have fun.